The
town
Trump
hall.
The
Town Square, yeah, Town Hall, when he had the CNN interview, and he ended up just torching him during the whole thing. That was a month and a half ago or so.
Oh yeah, the Trump Bukkake. That's right.
The what?
What?
The Trump Bukkake. Where was that?
Babagan. What are you talking about?
Babagan? Babadook?
Baba Ram. Baba Ram.
Bomb Iran, yeah.
Baba and Iran. Oh,
Bob
we're not
on it.
recording yet.
Oh. There.
Welcome to the show.
Hey, what's up, everybody?
This is your studio, and welcome to the show, James.
It's not really a studio. This is more of a kitchen outside of a resort that overlooks mountains.
You know, your setup here it's like a weekend getaway at the Catskill.
It's basically like a 10-month getaway. There'll be a new studio in about
I heard
7 weeks-ish,
Yeah.
give or take. Should be, anyway.
The all-powerful upstairs was telling me.
The old that dog barking? Yeah, but... So, yeah, there'll be a new studio.
Nice. Good on you, mate.
Yeah.
I'm not even Australian.
So what'd you do last weekend? I was gonna do a show, but no, this weekend, not this past weekend, the weekend before. That's what it was. I ended up taking a break. I ended up going up to the lake and staying up at the lake for the weekend.
Yeah. The weekend. Yeah, last weekend was a you weekend. You needed it, which is 100%. I needed a weekend this weekend because of obvious reasons. But here we are, back again.
What was your obvious reasons? Birthdays at Legos?
Yes, I gave birth to a Lego. Never swallow.
That was out of your pee hole.
Oh.
That's basically what that felt like, yeah?
Yeah, I don't want to talk about it. No, yeah.
We talked about it enough times.
I know.
But just for the people that don't know what we're talking about, see what happened is...
I hate you so much.
There was
PTSD. I don't want to talk about it.
There was a revolt within his body because years of me telling him, hey, you shouldn't have so much soda. Hey, you know that tea you're drinking is just like soda, just not carbonated. Hey, you know, maybe you should come back on that. And then there was a coup, like the one in Russia.
Or France.
Yeah. And then his body just rejected him.
I decided to make diamonds.
Did you keep them? Are they in a ring? Are you going to renew your wedding vows to your wife with the diamonds that you pulled out of your pee hole?
I made this for you. Are you bleeding? No.
It's just the color of love.
Yeah, all right. It's not good enough. Fuck you.
You know, it's misshapen. And the stone looks weird, too.
Fuck, I couldn't swallow my drink. I was going to make that joke. And the stone's funny looking, too. What?
We got a good audio clip of you swallowing hard.
There you go.
Holy balls. Oh, yeah, so there was a coup in Russia, which actually didn't last that long. That's what happened.
So, coup in Russia. Go ahead.
It didn't last that long, though.
Yeah, it didn't even make TikTok. I mean, I saw one or two videos.
It made TikTok. It made a lot.
I saw only a couple of videos of it.
It was, I saw a lot of videos of it just because, you know, all the news or journalists I'm, whatever, subscribed to, I guess, for lack of a better term. It did make TikTok, but it didn't last long. So as far as mainstream media goes, it literally lasted like a week, maybe not even that.
Yeah.
I guess the guy
4 or 5 days.
The guy that was running it, he owned like a restaurant chain or something like years ago, and basically he talked himself into the position that he had, and he ended up getting like, I don't know, 25,000 military followers or whatnot, and he was trying to get more and more people in higher positions, generals and whatnot, around Putin to actually take him down. I guess he had more of a beef with one of the higher ups that were next to Putin, and that's what the coup was actually for. and just Putin obviously took it like, oh, they're trying to take me out, but it was actually a beef with somebody else. Basically, it's like, this guy's an asshole. Whatever about you, but
Putin probably came down hard. He probably came really hard on them. I mean, came down hard on them. Love you, Putin.
This is Prigozhin.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's his name. This is first. Prigozhin has likely been swept into the dustbin of history, to borrow a phrase from Trotsky, and largely by the exertions of his own broom handle. A former restaurant tycoon turned mercenary leader, he was done in by some of his most famous traits: brazen imprudence, overweening self-confidence, and blithe gullibility toward his own PR. These qualities served him well as he rose to power over the past decade, but last week he let them come unchained for a ruthless pragmatism that good commanders and coup plotters employ to size up the balance of power and the conditions in the battlefield.
He did too much overweening. That's what it was. He overweened his wiener. Now I can. She's only 17. Winger. I don't know why.
Winger? Jeez.
I don't know why. Wow, I'm sorry.
That was like the only hit.
The driver of that train just said, fuck it, I'm not stopping at this station.
When I first heard about this, I was like, my first reaction was, a lot of media, if this was going to go on, this is initially, a lot of media is going to look at this and be like, oh shit, like Russia's not this most like horrible, dangerous thing like they're portraying in the media them to be, because now they have a coup from within, which I still believe they're not as, I don't know why we're not focusing more on China than we are Russia, but that's from the get-go. I've talked about that. When they had this coup going on, this military uprising, this Wagner group,
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, well, they're going to take themselves down from the inside. So there's that. So let's focus on China. And then within a week,
What is it?
Just what?
China.
China. Oh, speaking of China, do you know? Now they're saying that there's not any significant evidence that says that the coronavirus came out of the Wuhan lab in China. So now they're just going to, I guess,
And Hillary accidentally
throw
deleted
that
her
away,
emails.
discredit it, and throw it away as nothing.
Yeah. Fun fact: we can get banned for disinformation, but we can't stop kiddie porn on the internet. Good.
It seemed like a duel to the death. Prigozhin, which sounds like a fucking like
Medicine.
yes, sounds like.
Can I see that, please? I
Sound,
just want to see the name. Prigozhin. Prigozhin seemed poised to wind.
is it Prigozhin?
To wind? Yeah.
Prigozhin?
Prigozhin.
Prigozhin?
Like pierogi. Prigozhin. All right, the
Prigozhin.
contest was on. It seemed like a duel to the death. Prigozhin seemed poised to wind up in dungeons or worse, his Wagner group. Though 25,000 strong seemed no match for the president's entire national security apparatus unless he had plotted this move well ahead of time and recruited others to join his cause. Some figured he must have organized a large following or else he wouldn't have taken such a mad plunge to begin with.
Yeah, because you figure 25,000 versus what's Russia's military?
I'll Google it.
Yeah. Not even knowing, 25,000 is a lot for an area, but it's not a lot taking on Russia. It's just not. So he must have been working, which it's like 26,000. What is
In
it?
terms of active duty,
Active duty?
One
I
point-
think. Oh, all right, go ahead.
1.15 million,
Yeah, 25,000.
and at least 2 million in reserve.
It's like the fucking 300 movie. Like, okay.
Oh no, they're estimated to be over 1.5 by 2026.
In active duty?
Active duty.
Jeez. Yeah, there's no way.
Make it what? Which will make it the third largest in the world after China
Yeah, China.
and India.
Yeah, India is fucking massive.
We're not even in the. Are we even in the top 5?
I think for active, we're what? Like, I don't want to. I think active, we're 500,000 or something like that. Or no, maybe that's just in the States.
Wow, that's weird. Okay.
What? We talking
The
globally?
10 strongest armies in the world in detail.
Hmm.
The United Kingdom,
Number 1?
Italy, France, South Korea, India, China, Russia, then the United States.
So we're 8. Yeah, but we have drones now. So we don't need people. We raise video gamers. But anyway, that's what I was saying is 25,000 against what, 1 point whatever million.
But we also
There's-
have we have the number one. I'm sorry to cut you off really quick. We have the largest military budget in the world, though.
Oh hell yeah. It beats the others by how many, like all the next
Jeff Daniels said
8 or combined or some shit like that,
where
or
we spend more than the next 26 countries.
is it
combined.
20? It's some ridiculous number, which
How many of which we're allies with?
what? Yeah, I mean they talk about. I've heard it on Tim Pool. I've heard it. It's like 200 and some billion dollars.
Mm-hmm.
What is it? United States military budget? Oh, I was close. It's not 200 billion.
It's 400 billion.
No, 766 billion in 2020. Oh, 2022. 766 billion dollars. Anyway, going back
Oh,
to
hold on.
fucking Russia.
I've only got 5 or 6 times that in my bank account. I got this, guys.
That's inflation. That's completely inflationary numbers, so whatever. 25,000 versus a million, whatever, active.
1.15 mil.
Yeah, not going to happen. So my thought is, a lot of people are like, well, he just like kind of went crazy and he's like, I'm going to take down Russia with my handful of people. Or just a thought, maybe there's more people out there that's not come to light. Maybe there's way more people in this uprising. And this Wagner thing was just like the first.
Touche.
Maybe. Doesn't necessarily mean it is, but. You know, if you really wanted to fight the Russians.
Just call them.
Actually, no, you don't. We have our. Yeah, if you really wanted to fight the Russians, we have our own military here. A very large one. I don't mean the United States military. It's not going to cost $766 billion. Although, with reparations, maybe a little bit.
You wascally wabbit. That's not the way you said that.
If you know where that comes from, then you know. Not the rabbit, but reparations.
Reparations. I know.
I'm talking about the T in the LGBTQ. There was a drag parade in New York City. I believe it was New York City. Yes, it was. A drag
New York
march. In this drag march,
Oh, God.
quote, "We are coming for your children." Chant in a New York City drag march elicits outrage, but activists say it's taken out of context. I saw the video, so this article is from NBC. So, because it's NBC, I'm going to read through it just to see what they say. Over the weekend, which is a week ago now, it's June 27th. Over the weekend, a short video circulated widely on social media of an unidentified person at a New York City march during Pride festivities saying, quote, "We're coming for your children." In the 21-second clip circulated by a right-wing web streamer channel, which I know what channel it is, it's fucking Tim Pool. That's who they're referring to. Who, anyone who knows anything, Tim Pool's not right-wing at all. That channel is not right-wing. According to the extreme left,
but
they're
it
probably
propagates
right-wing.
the fear agenda by calling it a right-wing
Sure.
channel.
Yeah, they're racist and everything else, whatever else goes along with it. So, whatever. Dozens of people march in the streets and are clearly heard chanting, "We're here, we're queer, we're not going shopping." But one voice that is louder than the crowd, it's not clear whose or whether the speaker was a member of the LGBTQ community, is heard saying at least twice, "We're here, we're queer, we're coming for your children." Before I go further, I saw the video. It's not one person.
No.
It's the whole fucking group.
I was going to say.
And it's not just once or twice.
They repeat it over and over and over.
Over and over. You can't say if you just see the video, and like they said, it's a short video, it's 21 seconds. That's all you need to see. It's not just one person. And you can't deny that this is like a large, I don't want to say movement, but this kind of thing has been chanted before. A couple years ago, the San Francisco, boys choir, gay choir, whatever it is.
Oh, yeah.
They made that song that fucking circulated.
Yes.
"We're coming for your children." To conservative pundits,
This one's disabled. Take it. No.
well, I mean, what they wanted to get rid of possible children that were going to have Down syndrome. Remember that?
Uh-huh.
Well, take this one. If that's what they want to do, then you can have the left feeding the left. The leftists that want to get rid of their disabled children, here, LGBTQ, you can take it. And then everyone's happy. Everyone's happy. Pro-life is happy because there's no aborted Down syndrome babies. The kids or the parents that don't want the Down syndrome kid can just give it away to the LGB community that want to take kids because they're chanting about it and everything. They can get it and do whatever they're going to do with. Why do they want the kids? That's my question. Why do they want the kids? What are they going to do with them? Are they going to dress them up like when little kids get cats and they dress them up in weird clothes and everything? Is that what they're going to do? Try and like men that are women try and breastfeed the kids. The baby latched. They got the baby to latch, but it's not getting anything. That kid is going to be fucked up. Whatever.
All I can imagine is a drag queen walking into another drag queen. Oh my goodness! What is it? It's an Asperger's, Down syndrome, purebred, hyperactive.
Purebred.
I have it in a little Sailor Moon costume. Isn't this just the prettiest?
It's gonna look like when people have fucking
Sorry.
chihuahuas with boots on and shit.
We're getting
like that.
fucking canceled.
Probably. But you know what? Like chihuahuas with boots on and shit like that. And
Yeah.
They hold them. And they're just like. Ah.
They're gonna put the Down syndrome kid.
Is that gonna be the next movement?
Boots.
Is that gonna be the next movement?
Oh.
That they're gonna have disabled kids and they're gonna cart them around like fucking dogs and dress them up?
We should really cut this section out.
I can't.
I know.
It's too good.
Here we go.
The conservative pundits, activists, and lawmakers. Two conservative pundits, activists, and lawmakers. The video confirmed the allegations they've levied in recent years that the LGBTQ community is grooming children. But to Brian Griffin, the original organizer...
Do you mean the dog from Family Guy?
the organizer of the New York City Drag March, it's just the worst they heard. It's only because he wasn't there this year. Griffin said he chanted obscene things in the past like kill, 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 we're coming to kill the mayor, and joked about public hair and sex toys during marches. People at the drag march regularly sing God is a lesbian. It's all just words, Griffin said. It's all presented to fulfill their worst stereotypes of us. The, quote, coming for your children, quote, chant has been used for years at pride events, according to a longtime march attendees and gay rights activists. Like, that fucking makes it any better. Oh, we've been doing this for years. Don't worry about it. We're coming for your children. We've been saying that for a long time. You just fucking finally heard it. You figured it out now.
You know, there was a lot of jokes.
Don't fucking worry about it.
There was a lot of jokes about other things.
Give me your disabled kid.
You know, like the Catholic religion. Oh, altar boys, altar boys. They were just jokes.
Seriously. All these fucking Hollyweird jokes and everything that's coming out. Oh, it's just a joke. And then, what? 10, 15 years later, now there's sex rings being uncovered and everything else.
Hillary Clinton's deleting emails.
33,000. Jeez.
And how she had him killed. I mean, because, you know, much like Christmas ornaments, he didn't hang himself. Speaking of which, you know why Princess Di crossed the road? Because she wasn't wearing her seatbelt.
Yeah, I was going to say, here we go. According to longtime march attendees and gay rights activists who said it's one of the many provocative expressions used to regain control of slurs against the LGBT community. And in this case, they said right-wing activists are jumping on a single video to weaponize an out-of-context remark to further stigmatize the queer community. How is that? Put that in context. We're coming for your children.
So,
Charlie, I task you with this right now on the spot. Put "we're coming for your children" into context. So it's not crazy-ass crazy. And go.
what's crazier than crazy? If you could say the most outlandish things to be okay, you know what you're gonna see the path I'm taking with this.
All right.
You see some white dude on YouTube making jokes about fried chicken and that there watermelon and that purple drink. It's that's racist. But you see some black dude, I love me some fried chicken and some watermelon and some collard greens and some purple drink. Woo, malt liquor. Everyone's like, yeah, that's funny because it's just a joke. Mm-hmm. There's your context. If they say it because it's one of those stereotypes, like Jews give a Jew a Viagra and watch him run into a wall, what's going to break? His nose. What do you call 12 Hispanics standing shoulder to shoulder on your front yard? A spigot fence.
Like the hose. YouTube.
But what I'm saying is like, so like, you ever seen that YouTube video about the black guy and the Mexican guy? He's like, hey man, give me your money. Well, why? Is it to pay child support? What? That's kind of racist. Is it? Doesn't matter. You're saying that because I'm black? Well, do you have child support you need to pay? He's like, yeah. Well, sorry, I don't want to rob your money. You probably got to pay me in pesos. Wow, that's a pretty racist thing to say, man. They go back and forth about, he goes, what's your favorite band? One Direction. He goes, hey, that's actually a good one, man. I was like, yeah, that is a good one. I actually like One Direction. You want to go get some tacos? Oh, wait. You know what's wrong with it?
Jeez.
There was a good one, too. The Mexican goes, what's long and black? He goes, the line at the KFC. And that's where the video ends. But that's what I'm saying. There's your context. And this is the only thing I can think of that would make logical sense. They want to say the most outlandish, crazy things because of all the stuff that's being said. I get it. I make jokes about butt stuff all the time. Whoa.
Yeah, I got you.
Exactly. So to normalize the joke and get people past Charlie really wants to put it in my butt. No, Charlie doesn't really want to put it in your butt. He's just making jokes.
Everyone out there.
So I make the jokes. Everybody makes the jokes. You make jokes about
tap once for help.
Fuck you. You make spectrum jokes. I make Hispanic jokes. There's gay jokes, there's Hispanic jokes, there's black jokes, there's white jokes, there's Asian jokes. All about stereotypes about every race.
Right. The best kind.
So, if they go outlandish and make all these crazy jokes about their comments, about these comments and say some of these crazy outlandish things that people are like, oh, that's what we're afraid of. Like, did I send you the propaganda TikTok video? It's like a 1940s black and white.
Oh yes, with
about
the homosexuals
catching the gay.
Yeah. It's like he's got a problem with his brain or something.
Yeah,
like,
that's actually a legit propaganda film from the 40s.
Boy, a simpler time.
So right there, you know, how many times have you heard someone, "Oh, better not touch my penis, you're gonna catch the gay."
And now fast forward to like 2016 when Joey Ryan in wrestling was doing like King of Dong style and people were grabbing his dick and he was flexing and then he was doing this and they're flipping over and shit like that. We've come a long way.
Yes, we have.
And now we have drag marches with
So I'm not defending them, but I'm not attacking them. And the reason I say that is because come on, that's one of those things like a black man saying, where the white women at? You know, jokes are jokes. I get it.
right.
But to sit there and platform or social media network with these kind of statements and comments, not cool, man. Like pedophiles, maps, whatever the fuck you want to call those fucking degenerates.
Right.
There's nothing you can say to normalize something that can be taken out of context in a negative way.
The thing is, like all the jokes you're talking about and all those stereotypes, racial stereotypes, all those jokes are made in jest, but also with truth behind them. Like, if they're coming from that, if that
A time.
racial, if that race is joking about their own race, talking about like fried chicken and blacks or whatever, and they're joking about it, that's
Tacos
fine.
and spics.
Yeah,
Spanish people.
But it's
Sorry, I'm Hispanic, so I could say that word. Fact check me.
you can joke about that from that race, but
And it's not even I identify as a Spanish person. I really am half Spanish.
But in doing so, you're also saying this is what my culture does. This is what my culture is.
And that's where
So they can joke about it, right? So now going forward to
But
we're
that's-
coming for your kids. We're joking about it.
But that's where I'm saying you shouldn't, like, don't reinforce it. If you want it to stop, like Morgan Freeman said, you want racism to stop talking about it. You want this gay hate, whatever that you never see. I'm sorry, no offense or nothing. 30 years ago, yeah, you might have heard of a gay guy getting beat down in a back alley because he hit on the wrong dude. And yes, there might have been one or two fucking extremists who decided to hunt down a gay and beat the shit out of him. But nowadays, for fuck's sake, you can't even look at anybody wrong. Doesn't matter if you're gay, straight, man, woman, black,
If
white. For fuck's sakes, you want to identify as a cat and get looked at wrong by someone who identifies as a dog? You're going to get arrested for fucking physical, sexual, and verbal harassment.
I mean, now if you're trans and if you're cis and you say I'm not hooking up with a trans, whatever the fuck, depending on what your gender.
Oh, you're
is there.
transphobic.
Yeah, then you're automatically transphobic.
I don't want to be in a relationship whether you're a guy or a girl. If you do not want to be in a relationship with somebody of the same sex, that does not make you transphobic.
No. It makes you just somebody who knows what they want. Someone.
You know what? I can't wait till augmentation racism or augmentation phobia kicks in. You know, men and women who have augmentation done to their body augmentation. You know, like shaving their cheekbones,
Right.
You know, fake breasts, fake
Right.
butt, tummy tucks.
Mulvaney got that done.
Who?
Yeah, Dylan Mulvaney. He got that done on his chin and cheekbones.
Yeah. Wait till augmentation phobia kicks in. I don't like women with fake breasts. You're phobic. Tupperware dish. Fucking losers.
I mean, yeah, you're right in the sense that you don't want to be connected with this whole ideals of what you consider anybody who's extreme left, supporter of the extreme left, or in that community. You don't want to be Sunny D. You don't want to be
Wow, that was a little Howard Stern sounding.
You don't want to be associated with a group of like grooming kids and all this and that and the other thing. But now, especially with the culture that's so geared right now, paying attention to that direction, especially with like child trafficking and everything else. And now they're seeing this as like you're grooming kids, and they're like, no, we're not. But then go to this and we're coming for your children, and then the choir singing we're coming for your children. You're just throwing yourself into that mix, and then everyone's looking at you like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, if you don't want to be associated with it, what the fuck, like Morgan Freeman said, what the fuck are you doing talking about it all the time? What are you doing, like pushing that? You're pushing that image on yourself.
I grew up with a very diverse background. That's what I meant to say. I grew up with a very diverse background. I grew up around almost every ethnicity you can fucking imagine.
Right.
Every sexual orientation. I've rubbed elbows with fucking immature fucking 20-year-olds and immature fucking 50-year-olds. I've rubbed elbows with people that are in the 20s, but for fuck's sake, you think they've been on this earth 100 years. You know, when it comes down to it, none of these fucking problems exist until someone gets fucking butt hurt and wants to fucking butt stuff, bitch. Someone gets butt hurt over some fucking concept. I saw a TikTok video, and here's the best part. I saw two videos of the same subject. One was actually legit. It was a voiceover.
You need a water?
I don't know. It was a actually.
Go ahead. Voiceover.
It was a voiceover, you know, like the robotic computer reading off, like, this happened, and this is the context, and this is this. Yeah.
Yeah.
So this voiceover is legit, shows a video of a guy trying to talk on his watch and his cell phone while the police officer is, I'm sorry, unnecessarily close to his behind with his groin. Like, it's, dude, he's leaning over him in the car.
Where are your hands?
And I mean, he's literally got, like, it's like, dude.
He's got his chin's resting on his fucking shoulder, like, what you
At one point, you see, like, and this is what, all right, I'll tell you the bad version first. So in this video, it shows the police officer, like, unnecessarily leaning over him a little too much and a little too close to him. And then at one point, the video kind of jumps and it shows him hitting the phone and the guy the black guy putting the phone back down. And that's where the video ends.
Right.
I was like, that's kind of weird. Usually they, like, you got somebody, there's comments, something like that, and there was a bunch of comments.
Yeah, that's like not much context there.
And there was, I looked at the comments like, all right, where did this come from? A bunch of people, you know, typical fucking America. Yeah, everybody says racism isn't real. Here we go, prime example. And then somebody chimed in with, well, it's actually a funny video. And that's the one comment. This fucking person got lit up.
Oh, I'm sure.
But it was going back and forth.
This video's on the hub.
It was going back and forth. No, it was going back and forth. There was people defending it. And then somebody, if you go down to the end of this string of comments, because I didn't read past this, guys. It was a long one. Reached to the end, original video. Not a single comment after that.
Yeah.
Original video is, the cop's like, no, ma'am. The black guy's like, babe, I'm not with another woman. He's on the phone, on his watch. He's, babe, I'm not, as a black man, talking to a black girlfriend. And the white cop, he's still unnecessarily close, like, kind of uncomfortably close looking. And
imagine if that's how they actually did
the
it.
whole video.
Charlie, can you step out of the car? Oh, no, not again.
The whole video, hold on a second.
Do you need my hands, officer? No need.
All right. There we go.
It's like drinking sugar.
That's fine. I don't know.
That's why I got this thing. Anyway.
Holy crap, that's actually looking pretty good right now. So he even chuckles a couple times. And the girl goes, let me talk to her. Let me talk to her. And he goes, all right, this is officer. It sounds like a girl. I sound like a girl? Like the police officer. Now, this is where, I mean, I don't know if you want to show the friend. I don't know if you want to show the folks at home, but I could definitely put you in the position and how he looked over. Because at this point, he goes, all right, I'll let you FaceTime her.
I'm going to sit.
He goes, I'll let you FaceTime her if you want.
Whole
He
idea
goes,
got me uncomfortable.
All right, okay, girl, he's gonna let me FaceTime you. So she's FaceTiming, and the cop's he's leaning over to the point where he's like leaning. Like,
Drink, my son. Anywho, he's leaning over.
He's leaning over, and he's still like groin to ass. And he's like,
spread your cheeks and lift your sack.
He goes, ma'am, he's being pulled over. That was zero. I literally go, I can't do this. I'm not arguing with her anymore. Hangs up the guy's phone. He doesn't get it. The black guy puts it there, hangs up on her. He's like, brother, I'm just gonna let you go. I don't care what's going on. You got enough going on tonight. And it all stemmed from him running a red light because he was arguing with his girlfriend for being late home from work.
He's not with another woman.
And I don't know. There's in that video because I watched it. There's a bunch of comments and the guy that got pulled over was like, yeah, they could have got me for this. He listed off a few things or something like that. I think is what he said.
Right.
Could have fucking nailed him. He's like, I'm not even gonna let you. I'm not even gonna. Here you go. Just have a good night. You got enough problems to go home to.
Sometimes it pays off to have a really naggy woman at home.
Or just fucking comply.
Yeah, that's probably the better idea.
Fuck's sake. I've been threatening to have my ass yoked out the fucking car because I had an attitude. I'm not as light as this motherfucker, but still. I'm not as black as some of those people.
I'm not as black. All right, Wolf Blitzer. Oh, if you look, these people are so poor and they're so black.
I'm just saying. I've seen every motherfucker get treated like shit. Just comply.
Yeah.
That's it.
Just listen. Hands on the steering wheel.
You don't even have to do that.
Or
one hand on the shifter, one hand on the steering wheel. Cop pulls up, roll down your window all the way. Roll your window all the way. Who gives a fuck what your right is?
don't run a red light. It shouldn't even be on the phone while he's driving anyway.
No, like he called this girl. Oh yeah, it's because that's one of the things. He's like, he could have nailed me for talking on the cell phone, not using hands free, blah 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 blah. He's like, he could have nailed me to the wall, but he didn't.
Yeah, I mean, so I don't even know how he got on that. Coming for your children, whatever.
The context, taking things out of context.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah.
So, just fucking comply. And if they say they got warrants, don't scream you don't have the right to arrest me. You have a fucking warrant. Shut up.
Yeah, bench warrant says otherwise, but the Mel Gibson movie that we were talking about a few weeks ago, a couple of shows ago, that one remember that podcast I was talking about with Ryan Montgomery, the Sean Ryan podcast?
Yes,
the one
he talks about child trafficking.
Yeah, the ethical hacker. Well, at the same time, when we were talking about that, right after I said Mel Gibson was coming out with a documentary of dealing with child sex trafficking. Well, then after we had talked about that, I got wind that there's people
got killed by Hillary Clinton.
There were people saying that, well, now it's not coming out, I guess, evidently. It came out this past week.
Did you watch it?
No. It's called The Sound of Freedom. And I saw a couple people review it, though. And they didn't know it was really not a movie. Spoilers don't really matter in this movie.
Yeah.
It's one of those. It's not a documentary. It's a dramatization. But it's not talking about the child sex trafficking ring as a whole. It's talking about one character and this guy that's trying to get back this little girl who got caught or got abducted into this sex trafficking ring. I guess the movie is fucking heavy. Really heavy. Like, the people that went and saw it said the whole time they're watching it, they were like on this weird purgatory verge of tears, not crying, not, it wasn't like just like numb. right to the end credits, and then just like the tears just started flowing at the end. So
Pussies.
it's supposed to be it's supposed to be super heavy. Which I heard that, I'm like, I gotta see this fucking movie.
Well, that's
It's called The Sound of Freedom, though. But it was out. It filmed in 2018, finished in 2019. It didn't come out.
Pandemic.
Nobody in Hollywood would do anything with it. No one wanted it to come out. He had to get independent funding through donations in order to get it to be released to however many theaters it was released. I don't know if it's released any around here. I have to check. But yeah, so it's finally out. Funny. The sex trafficking ring is like, oh, we don't want that to come out. Well, why? Maybe it's just me and my algorithm, but there's a lot of shit with like child sex trafficking that's coming out now.
You know what probably happened? It was probably supposed to come out sooner, but in one of those deleted emails, it was probably like, hey, we're waiting for you to give the go-ahead, and she just deleted them all and didn't give them the go-ahead to release it. Knew I shouldn't have asked Hillary for money.
No, Hillary would have definitely... Never mind. She's a good president. I mean, would be president. She'll be president.
I fucking hope not.
No. Elon Musk deems cis a Twitter slur. And
good.
Here's why it's so polarizing. Which, yeah, I'm actually like, fine, if we're going to throw around like this is a slur, that's a slur, and everything's offensive, like, don't fucking call me cis. I'm not cisgendered. I'm not cis. I'm just a guy. That's it.
I'm not a cis man. I'm a man. I don't understand why we are, and that's. Can you explain something to me? Maybe you can drop some.
Maybe.
Wrap your head around something and try to explain, make some sense of it to me.
Okay.
Trans men, trans women, whatever. A man wants to become a woman, so now he's a trans woman. Well, the biggest argument has been going on for fucking ever since this shit started. Well, trans women are women and trans men are men. Why the fuck are you calling them trans then?
My theory, now this is just completely, maybe just a wild,
defend it. Go.
A wild theory, but as far as cis and cisgender, I thought it was not really a theory. Just it was one of those like kind of out of nowhere thoughts. One day I was working, and I might have been actually sitting out here by the pool, but it popped into my head. I'm like, what if they're putting like the cisgender thing on all of us normies? Because they want to steal the man and woman phrase for themselves. Like, oh, we're men and women. You're cis. Doesn't necessarily mean that's what's going on, but just one of those random things that popped in my head. I'm like, that'd be... Well, wouldn't that be something? But, yeah, so evidently Elon's made it a slur now. So... He's deemed the word cis and cisgender slurs on Twitter and warned that anyone who harasses others on Twitter will receive at least a temporary suspension. Now, harassment. Harassing people. So you can go on Twitter and put in your Twitter handle on your personal space, I think this person is a trans this trans person is actually a man or a woman, or in this case, in the other way around, you could say, I think Charlie's a cis man. That's not harassment. That's you on your space expressing an opinion, your opinion.
Okay.
Can't do anything about that. Now, if you were to go to someone's page, be like, listen, Dylan, you're really a boy. Stop fucking around. That's harassment. Just to get that out there and like clear. So it's not like if you just say cis or whatever, that's automatically harassment. And so it's not like you have to worry in that aspect.
Doesn't Dylan like girls now?
He's gone in so many directions with his identification and what he's attracted to. I don't have enough fucking breadcrumbs to get home. Like a man, but as a woman, but he's a lesbian, so I think
he's straight.
I think, or no, I think he's like as when he's dressed up as a woman,
Holy
he's
fuck, I'm seeing a load symbol.
a lesbian. I think because I'm trying. I don't know. I'm not even gonna pretend. I don't fucking know. That's one of my problems with this whole thing as a whole.
Buffering failed.
The whole seriously, I just like Control Alt Delete that shit because I can't fucking
Deleted.
yeah, like I can't keep all this shit straight. Like we have enough fucking problems. Like oh shit, what day is it?
I can't keep it straight either.
Now you gotta like remember all these crazy ass fucking terminology, and it's not like we're language over the fucking centuries before. It's been like little bits added in here and there. Or the last fucking 5 years, we have so many fucking pronouns and everything else. Like, what are you fucking talking about? Like, what is all this? And then if you don't memorize them all like a fucking spelling test in 2nd grade, you're gonna fucking fail. Except not fail like, oh, you got a bad grade. No, you're gonna fail. It's like soon coming to your fucking whatever soon, you're gonna have a social credit score. So now if you fail, you can't get a fucking credit card. You can't go to fucking Florida to go to Lego World, Legoland, and watch the fireworks in Florida down there. No, you didn't fucking pass your social credit score. You said cis, and that's not supposed to be cis. It's supposed to be miss. Not really. Whatever the fuck.
And now I'm pissed.
Yeah. And now you failed. I can't remember this shit. Who can? It's crazy. The warning came after a Twitter user complained others had labeled him cis. Here's what the word means and why it has come to be so polarizing. The term cis is short for cisgender, meaning someone whose gender identity matches the sex they were assigned at birth. In other words, it's the opposite of transgender. Elon Musk was male at birth and still identifies as a male, so he is legitimately cisgender. The prefixes cis and trans have wide usage beyond gender. Cis is defined as on this side, and trans means on or to the other side. To me, they're just making shit up as they go along, but whatever.
Yeah.
A flight from Pittsburgh to Paris and transatlantic because it crosses over the other side of the Atlantic Ocean. A flight from Chicago to Philadelphia is cisatlantic because it remains on the same side. See, they're just fucking pulling... And in chemistry, molecules with atoms on opposite sides are called trans, and those with atoms on the same side are cis. I like how Elon Musk, repeated targeted harassment against any account will cause the harassing accounts to receive at minimum temporary suspension. There was a response, James Essays. Yesterday, after posting a tweet saying that I reject the word cis and don't wish to be called it, I receive a slew of messages from trans activists calling me sissy and calling me that I'm a cis, whether or not I like it. We've resorted to being bullied by trans people.
Some of them...
Just the idea of that.
Some of them are pretty fucking beefy, dude.
Just the idea. It doesn't matter how beefy or whatever they are. Just the idea of just a bunch of trans people just all of a sudden flooding your social media account. Go, hey, you sissy.
What's wrong? You sound like a babbling brook.
I'm sorry. That's fucking hilarious.
You sound like a babbling brook.
You're a cis whether you like it or not. All I can think of is like bullies from the fucking 80s, like 80s movies, like, hey, sissy. Just fucking give you a swirly. Like,
come here, you...
Oh, you were male at birth and still are? Nerd! Sis! Where have we come? What fucking alternate reality? What alternate reality is this?
I prefer the other way you said it.
Where are we coming?
Where did we come?
Well, where do we come?
I can think of a few different spots.
Oh, you mean like a bonus hole? UK Cancer Trust suggests bonus hole as a term for vagina.
Jackpot!
Joe's Cervical
You get the
Cancer.
bonus round.
Joe's Cervical Cancer Trust, the United Kingdom-based nonprofit, is offering alternative vocabulary for women's genitalia to increase what the organization is saying an inclusivity in medical language.
Mud pie.
Yeah. According to the Cancer Trust's official glossary of LGBT inclusive terms, quote, bonus hole, end quote, is an optional term for vagina in the context of cancer treatment.
Meat wallet.
According to its website,
Wizard sleeve.
the trust... yeah, we have a fucking ton of this shit. Why do we need another one? A bonus hole. That sounds like a fucking game show where you play cornhole and I says, oh, you get a bonus hole. According to the website, the trust offers the following definition of guidelines. An alternative word for the vagina. It is important to check which words someone would
Arby's.
prefer to use. There's only a few that would understand. Puma. I'd clip that one section and just send it directly to him. Hi, Cameron.
All right. Well, never mind.
They'll never see this.
Nah. Unless we become famous.
At that point, it won't matter. Doesn't matter now.
All the people.
I never see
all
him anyway.
All the little people we had to walk all over to get up to where we are now. All 100-something subscribers. Yes to the little man.
Most Americans believe trans athletes could compete
Funny
against
story
those
for you
with,
after the show.
with the same biological gender pole. The glossary also offers front hole as an alternative term for a vagina. Using the correct language when referring to someone's gender identity is a simple and effective way to demonstrate support and recognition. Joe's Cervical Cancer Trust states that the glossary section of its official website,
So can
that
we-
implies there's a back hole.
You mean the mud hole? The chocolate starfish?
We don't, hot dog flavored water. We don't need extra fucking terminology. We have
the
it.
balloon knot? The Hershey kiss?
We don't. We
You with your bowl. This is great.
seriously though, like what?
Meat locker.
Wait a minute. Let me see if I can
Gash.
find this. Joe's Cervical Cancer
Axe
Trust
wound.
told the page includes a glossary.
That was
of
always
terms.
one of my favorites while he's doing research. I don't know what it is. Axe wound. I don't know why. I don't know where the term.
An axe wound. Yeah.
That's what it's always
What
made me laugh.
happened? My axe wound.
Every time I hear someone say it. Oh, fuck.
I want to see if there's supposedly a glossary of all these terminology. Or all
Yeah,
this
it's called
terminology.
UrbanDictionary.com.
Seriously, what if they fucking just like?
Urban Dictionary becomes the new Wikipedia.
No, I mean Wikipedia. Well, not so much anymore, but there was a time when anyone could go in and just
Yeah. Fuck with Wiki.
yeah. Yeah, so there you go. Bonus hole. So ladies,
Show me your up.
how do give me a hickey with your bonus hole?
Bogey!
The fuck is wrong with this world?
Not enough people are scoring par. I don't want to see a bonus hole.
I didn't even know how to segue off of that, but Pentagon accounting error, which allowed us to send an extra $6.2 billion to Ukraine. Going back into the pot from Yahoo News, the Pentagon made a stunning $6.2 billion accounting error, which means it can now provide extra aid for Ukraine. Here's exactly what happened.
They don't fucking need it.
Well, apparently they do. The Pentagon reported in late June that it overestimated the value of the weapons it supplied to Ukraine by a whopping $6.2 billion over the past 2 years. The revelation came just 4 weeks after the Pentagon initially admitted to an accounting error of at least $3 billion, about half the current estimate. Lawmakers have been pressing the Department of Defense to ensure the funds don't get diverted into the wrong hands and become subject to fraud. All right. The Pentagon spokeswoman Sabrina Singh, explained in a news briefing that a detailed review of the accounting error found the military services used replacement costs instead of the book value of equipment that was drawn from the U.S. stocks and provided to Ukraine. The miscalculation inflated the cost of each new aid package, resulting in an error of $3.6 billion in the current fiscal year and $2.6 billion in the 2022 fiscal year, which ended September 30th. Singh said the error in no way impacted the provision to support to Ukraine. I guess what they're going to do, they're claiming they're going to, now that they sent that money over, they're going to take away from future packages they already have planned to send over.
Or
But-
with $3 billion, they could give the 332 million people that live in America $10 a piece.
Yeah, they might as well just fucking piss on my foot for $10 a piece. With the economy we're in, what the hell is that going to do? But if they're going to withhold funds from
Here's your reparations.
my reparations, if they're going to withhold funds from future packages, that basically means they could just make fucking numbers up for future packages and be like, no, we're going to send this 13 billion over. We were going to send
19 billion.
Yeah, 15 billion, but we're going to take that 2 point whatever billion from the 2022 and take that away from this. So they can still send whatever the fuck they want and just say, wow, we were, but now we're not. $6.2 billion. And you know what? I bet you they still have their fucking job. Imagine if you made a $6.2 billion mistake over the course of fucking...
$6.2 billion, I actually did the calculation. It would have been about $20 a person in America.
God, my old job, you get in an accident with a piece of machine, they drug test you and like possibly fly you on the spot. You make $6.2 billion.
See you tomorrow.
Whoops. Well,
Take the rest of the day off. You're stressed.
oh jeez. I mean, they do. They take mental health fucking months.
Yeah, but we don't get a mental health month.
Yeah, we do.
No, we don't.
It's called Pride Month. It's not for our mental health. Yeah, we do have one thing.
What's that?
They got rid of affirmative action.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Got rid of affirmative action. That being a policy aimed at increasing workplace and educational opportunities for people who are underrepresented in various areas of our society. It focuses on demographics with historically low representation in leadership and professional roles. That being sex, race, religion, national origin, things of that nature. But the Supreme Court struck it down, saying it's in violation of the 14th Amendment, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Which, honestly, it is. I mean, you can look at it however you want, but the affirmative action is a... If you have to look at gender or anything, race, gender, anything in your hiring status, that should have nothing to do with...
No, it should be most qualified.
Yeah, with getting into any college or whatever. That should have nothing to do with it. I know the argument's going to be, well, this is a systemically racist society. The system isn't racist. There are bad apples strung throughout everything.
Yeah. Black,
from
white, yellow, brown, take your pick.
From the hills of West Virginia all the way into Hollywood and DC. They're all over. they're not plentiful like the way the media likes to pump it out there, where there's a poll that came out that said police officers were murdering people were polled on the street. I don't know if it's Chicago, maybe Detroit. I think it might have been Chicago. People were polled on the street and asked what percentage were black people being murdered by police officers. The poll revealed that people thought 30% of black people were being murdered by police officers. That means in just over 3 years, there would be no more black people in the world. Well, in the United States. I don't know if you realize this or not, but it's not even anywhere near that number.
No, it's a fraction.
There are bad apples everywhere. Nowhere near as many as what,
like you said,
mainstream media wants to perceive.
Wants to believe.
Right.
As much as the left wants it to propagate.
Like I said, the system isn't racist. There are bad apples. There are people that are racist, sure, but the system's not racist. How do I know? Well, like I've said many times before, I've had minorities that were my bosses. I've had minorities that I worked alongside but had seniority or just better qualifications that worked above me. We had a black president. How many Oprah? Look at the NBA is like 73% African American or
No,
black American.
Black American.
Yeah,
because
most
now,
of them are probably not from Africa.
Say because you heard about the one bald guy. He was doing a show or something like that, where he's talking to people about, you can't. Everybody calls a Barack Obama an African American.
Right.
He's not.
No, he's Muslim, is he?
Kenyan.
Yeah, that's right.
Kenya. Isn't that Africa?
Yes.
Not Kenyan. Sorry. He's Somalian or something like that. I forgot what it was.
Yeah, well.
India, whatever.
Okay.
He's not African American.
Right.
He's Black American. And a lot of people did you see the video about the only US president that we've ever had to not own slaves? Every family so far, they trace their lineage back.
Are you going to say Trump?
Yes. Fact check it. It's true.
Isn't that something? You funny go back to like the 90s and the early 2000s even, or Trump was with all those black artists and everything, and on Oprah's show, and like everyone loved Trump, and then it's like I'm running as a Republican, and suddenly he's fucking racist.
Everybody, every single family. In fact,
the Hodge twins is another they're wildly successful on YouTube, and like they're blowing up, and they came from nothing.
Well, there was even like
they're the ones that actually say that how many times are they like, you're not fucking African American, you never came off any boats, you were born here, you're black.
The one anchor he was talking to, he goes, I actually did your lineage too. Comes to find out, the black woman that he was talking to about all this, her family owned slaves in America.
In America?
And she wanted reparations. She was talking about reparations for black people.
Reparations.
Reparations. Reparations.
Well, again, like the conservative twins, like Hodge twins say, a lot of these, we'll go extreme left, but anyone who argues this, you know who you are. A lot of them say, the white man has stripped away like our culture, and they stole our language and this and that. And actually, there was a video. This is where this is coming from. There's a video I watched today where this, I don't know, if it's a podcast or a radio
with
show.
a guy talking to Dr. Phil.
No, it wasn't Dr. Phil. It was a black guy talking to another black guy. It was basically someone. I can't even say. I don't think he was conservative. He was just someone who just spoken facts, talking to a leftist. And the guy was asking him, the leftist, he goes, so what has the white man stolen from you? And that's where I got this from. And he goes, well, let's see, he stole our culture, he stole our language, he stole this and that. He said he'd murder our children, this. And he goes, well, how, he just like cut through him and he goes, well, where did he steal your language from? And he said, well, we speak an English language, which is like a systematically, I can't remember what term he used. Racist language, whatever. And he goes, and the guy goes, well, what's stopping you from learning your dialect? He goes, have you done like a DNA test? You can like find out what what part or what tribe you were, like your ancestors are from in Africa. It's like, there's nothing stopping you from going and learn the language. Nobody's stopping you from doing that. Nobody's stopping you from going over and dressing up as whatever. Nobody's stopping you from going and literally moving back to like your homeland where you came from. White people were a part of that culture of slave trading, no doubt. Who the fuck do you think they bought them from? Black people in Africa that were chasing down other black people, selling them to the white settlers, the fucking Europeans that were shipping them across the world.
Well, black people sold black people first.
Yeah.
It's Sharon Stone, Charlize Theron, one of them are actually born and raised in like South Africa.
Right.
She's African American.
Right.
But they will not accept her as that. She's not African.
See, that's again, this is making shit up. They're just making fucking rules up. It's like, well, you don't fit the bill. Like,
exactly.
What are we fucking talking about here? Elon Musk is another one. You don't fit the bill.
Yeah, but he was born in Africa.
He's African American.
He's African American, exactly.
I'm a very successful African American. I don't know. Only the richest fucking the person in the world ever.
Oh, Bezos has him beat still.
Actually, well, all right. No, he doesn't.
No, he doesn't.
Jeff Bezos is like 160 something or 80 billion, and Elon Musk is like 260 billion. Something like that.
He's got some big DD, big dick energy.
As far as people we know, I mean, then there's like the Rothschilds and everyone else, like the deep state. There's people that are probably fucking Trump, pardon the expression, Elon and Jeff Bezos have maybe trillions, if not more. And then there's Putin, who's just the idea, like estimated, like, well, if you include everything, the military, probably worth more, but that's neither here nor there.
Is it bad that I want to meet that guy in person?
Putin?
Yeah. He just seems like he's got that vibe, like where he can intimidate you unless it's like an intimidation vibe off. You can walk up to me, shake hands. Who's going to intimidate who?
Was it him that like shook someone's hand and just took his ring? Just walked off with it. There was somebody that I guess met Putin, and he shook his hand, and Putin took his ring. He walked off with him. Hey, and I guess his service like stepped in front of him, was like, "You don't have a ring anymore." Basically, I'm like, "Wow,
that's my wedding ring." It's not your wife either. You might want to just pack up your shit and get out.
Well, you can have her, but that ring's expensive. Don't worry, honey. I know he'll be back soon. So after
you shipped me back because I wouldn't put out. Oh, surprise, surprise, bitch.
So it's not just me. So after the affirmative action move, activists spurred by affirmative action ruling challenge legacy admissions at Harvard now. So because basically this is one of those mudslinging things. They got rid of affirmative action. So now they want Harvard to get rid of their legacy admissions. Basically, like, I graduated from Harvard, let's say. Well, now my kid has an easier chance at getting into Harvard because I'm a graduate. I'm the alumni.
Okay.
That's the way they work. Well, apparently,
let
me just...
Now, let's say your kid doesn't fit the qualifications.
Well, then they'll end up flunking out.
So why go there? Why send them there in the first place if they don't even... I kind of see that one. If your kid doesn't meet the bar.
I don't know enough of what the bar is in regards to legacy, because let's just say this. So, all right, there's the way I interpret it is, and maybe it's later in this article, but the way I interpret it is if you have qualifications that say meet the bar per se, Harvard's an Ivy League school. So even if you're qualified, doesn't mean you're getting in.
Yeah.
But if my father or mother graduated from Harvard and I meet those qualifications, now I have an easier chance of getting in. That's the way I interpret the whole thing. Like, I'm sure...
Oh.
What?
It's that, but also it's a little bit more. So...
Oh, you have to be white, too?
No. Certain applications on the basis of their familial relationships to alumni of that institution.
Yeah.
So you could, or contributors, donators.
Yeah.
So if you donate $1 million, $100 million to Harvard,
But you can't be just a fuck up and be like...
your child will, hey, you know what? Let's slide her in.
Like an IQ of fucking 92. Like, yeah, but my dad... Not like Tommy Callahan.
But see, right there, I guess I see where that's coming from. Because if you're buying your way or birthing your way into a prestigious school like that, even if you don't deserve it, you are kind of taking that seat from somebody who's working for it. So I could see...
But with the affirmative action, that doesn't necessarily mean that they have the qualifications either.
Exactly. No. I'm down with that.
Right.
I
See what you're saying.
Get rid of the affirmative action applicants.
So you're just saying get rid of all that bullshit.
Yep. You either meet the fucking standard or don't even fucking bother.
Right. Yeah, but you know what? Ivy League school's not going to get all their money then. I'll give you all these donations. If my kid has a better chance of getting in, there goes those donations.
Oh, yeah.
You know that's not going to happen. Civil rights group, this is from AP News, is challenging legacy admissions at Harvard University, saying the practice discriminates against students of color by giving an unfair boost to the mostly white children of alumni. The practice of giving priority to the children of alumni has faced growing pushback in the wake of last week's Supreme Court's decision ending affirmative action in higher education. The NAACP added its weight behind the effort on Monday, asking more than 1,500 colleges and universities to even the playing field in admissions, including by ending legacy admissions. The civil rights complaint was filed Monday by Lawyers for Civil Rights, a nonprofit based in Boston, on behalf of Black and Latino community groups in New England, alleging that Harvard's admission system violates the Civil Rights Act. See, this is doing now. Like I said, it's just mudslinging from both sides. Take a little here, take a little there, and then they're just going to go back and forth and back and forth.
I say get rid of them both. I mean, if you.
But like I said, one, the civil right, all right, the affirmative action, getting rid of that, other than people who are claiming that it's going to cause the system becoming fully racist or whatever, there's that argument. Other than outside of that, there's no repercussions for Harvard at all. Now, getting rid of, and this isn't me defending it, but this is the way they're going to see it. And getting rid of legacy admissions, now you're getting rid of
that payroll
cash flow.
Oh,
yeah. And so that's going to hurt them. Doesn't mean it's right, no, by keeping it. But that's the way they're going to look at it. Now, maybe there's more to it, but the records revealed that 70% of Harvard's donor-related and legacy applicants are white, and being a legacy student makes an applicant roughly 6 times more likely to be admitted. It draws attention to other colleges that have abandoned the practice amid questions about its fairness, including Amherst College and Johns Hopkins University. It's going to create a tidal wave. It's just going to get to the point where no one's going to go to college. Fucking, you know what? Forget it. I'm done with this shit. Whatever.
I didn't want to be $150,000 in debt anyway.
All right.
School's for fools. Look at me.
Seriously. Did you see the thing with just going off topic, the RFK Jr. and Peter Hotez debate?
I've seen a couple of clips. Nothing extensive.
No. I listened to the RFK was on Joe Rogan a few weeks back, and they talked about a lot of shit, and it was a really good episode. And they were talking about vaccines and stuff, because RFK is a big critic of vaccine, especially the COVID vaccine. So during it, it was brought up. There was some clips that circulated on social media with RFK talking about the vaccines and whatnot, and Peter Hotez ended up chiming in on Twitter and calling him basically like a mascot of disinformation and this, that, and the other thing.
Oh yeah, didn't he put like a money down, like fact check, disprove it?
Joe Rogan tweeted at him and said, it basically gave him an open challenge. He said, "Listen,
I'll donate $100,000 to the charity of your choice."
I'll give you $100,000 of a charity of your choosing. You come on my show and debate RFK Jr. for 3 hours. You have the floor is yours, and like there's no interruptions, and you guys just debate." I'd say that's a slam dunk. I said, sure. If anyone who supports the vaccines, you want a scientist like debating someone, the best way to beat bad speech is good speech, right? You don't shut people up because you're just going to create an echo chamber, and that's just going to make things even worse.
Mm-hmm.
You want to disprove somebody, get your facts, and disprove whatever they're saying. Like, this is what it is, this is what it is, this is what it is, here's the science behind it. Like, you can't argue that because this is what we've discovered. This is where it is. That's how you do it. To me, if Peter Hotez is like 100% behind the vaccines and everything, and they're as legit as he claims to be, that's easy money. RFK is a politician. He's not a scientist. Should be easy, right?
Won't do it.
You won't do it.
Yep. I think a bunch of other celebrities, it ended up getting to over $1 million.
$2.62 million. This was like a week or so ago.
Yeah.
It might even be more than that now. He still won't do it. He refuses to debate RFK. Why? Now, we did a shit ton of episodes. We did a shit ton of episodes during the pandemic, and we were talking about, and we went off on the vaccines over and over and over. Like, there's fucking... I'm not on board with like a lot of the crazy ass conspiracy theories that we can't even fucking say on YouTube.
Yeah,
the video gets taken down. But
I mean, when you stop and think about it, man, really negative attitudes cause a lot of disinformation, and that'll get
robots. But
yeah,
like I'm not on board with all that shit. But there's a lot of discrepancies there that like didn't make sense. A lot of money, a lot of the way it was pushed out, marketing behind it, the lawsuits, and information that was
the liability waivers.
Yeah, liability waivers. The Pfizer papers that they wanted like 50, 55, and there's 75. Moderna, like they wanted like 55, 75 years before it was all released.
Yep.
Like there's so many fucking things there where any normal person would see that and be like, well,
hold up, wait a minute.
That's kind of a red flag.
Something right?
Why are we doing that? So we went off on that for fucking months.
Oh yeah, it was a good stream.
Well, it got to the point where it was like every fucking show, and then after a few months, like I'm fucking tired of talking about COVID. It's like, was something else happen? And I kind of regret saying that because there's so much crazier shit's happened now. It's like, fuck, can we just go back to COVID?
Will you just eat your burger? Because, I mean, that's right around the fucking corner, too.
What?
Your burger that you just drank out of.
Oh.
Synthetic. Lab grown. Oh, yeah.
Well.
Crazy shit. But, yeah.
Actually, that is kind of around the corner.
Oh, I know. It was approved, like last year?
It was approved. It was voted on, too. You know by who? People, not companies. But you know who's going to be able to vote soon? At least in one city, possibly. In Delaware.
Companies?
Yeah, they're voting to make companies able to vote in elections. As, like, the person who owns the company can vote, and the person who owns the company can vote as the company.
So he gets 2 votes?
Yeah.
That's bullshit.
Yeah.
You can vote on my nuts.
So they're
There's
gonna...
2 of them.
Which one? Left or right?
Including the third bulge. But we don't talk about him. Congenital twin.
So many of all these companies, meat companies, are going to be able to vote. They're going to be able to vote to make it widely acceptable for everybody to eat lab-grown meat. Because that's what's going on in Scientific American. Lab-grown meat
So-
approved for sale.
Hold on.
What you need to know. I'll hold it.
Here's the thing I'm curious about.
What?
And I'm hoping you've done a little bit more research than I have in regards to this. So the lab-grown meat.
Right.
Remember Daisy and Daisy?
The sheep?
Yes.
Right. That was like 98.
Technically, that's lab-grown.
Yes, but that's not what they're talking about.
That's what I wanted to know. Are they legit like synthesizing a steak, or are they lab producing livestock?
Sort of synthesized steaks.
I won't eat that shit. But I might have already done it. Because if I remember reading in the article, you might not even know, because there is a disclaimer in there that they do not have to label whether it's organic or synthetic.
At long last, a sandwich made with lab-grown chicken may be on the menu, at least if you live in the U.S. Last week, the U.S. Department of Agriculture granted its first ever approval of cell-cultured meat produced by two companies, Good Meat and Upside Foods. Both grow small amounts of chicken cells into slabs of meat. No slaughter required. It was the final regulatory thumbs up that the California-based companies, go fucking figure, needed in order to sell and serve their products in the U.S. Oh, this is from Scientific America, too. So this is the approval comes less than a year after the Food and Drug Administration declared the company's products safe to eat, and it represents a major milestone for the burgeoning cultured meat industry. But it doesn't mean lab-grown steaks will be hitting supermarket shelves tomorrow. For now, both companies have been given the go-ahead to sell strictly chicken products at the select handful of restaurants. They'll need additional approval to market cell-cultivated beef, pork, and seafood.
Yeah, fuck that shit.
That's what they're trying to do is get... All right. I think that's what they're trying to do. I think this is one of those ploys where they're trying to get rid of large-scale farms because of carbon emissions. So they're going to get rid of large-scale farms, and we'll just grow the meat. We won't grow the animal. We'll get rid of the slaughter process, so we'll make the environmentalists happy all around. We won't have the large farms, so there's tons of methane gas being pumped in the atmosphere, which is contributing to global warming. God help all the people with their fucking condos and everything right on the beaches. And then we also are helping members of PETA so they don't have to slaughter any animals. But then all of us meat eaters will get our synthetically grown meats only with a little bit of plastic in there, just like our drinking bottles.
How's that burger taste?
Delicious. Splash.
To the back of my throat.
You wouldn't try lab-grown meat?
I have no interest.
So if I had lab-grown meat on the show, like the crickets, and
I've put enough weird shit in my mouth in the 20 years you and I have known each other, okay? I'm good. Just give me this one, okay? Just don't.
you hear they're going to try to block the sun?
Here comes the sun. Doo, doo, doo. Blocked. Block.
I had a different one. It was Black Hole Sun.
Remember the Old Spice commercial with Terry Crews? Explosion!
Double sun power!
But then it's so strong. It blocks out the sun.
He doesn't even realize it, and he rolls his R's.
Fuck you. I didn't have what?
Oh, he did, and you all know it too.
Did I really? What did I say? Well, fuck off. Fuck off. That wasn't even an R. I rolled my tongue. Fuck off.
You rolled an L. How did
It's just rolling the tongue, and it's W's, L's,
you
R's,
rolled a
T's,
D?
D's, B's.
You roll half the fucking alphabet. You're like the Betty Crocker of rolling.
Into a joint and smoke it.
White House. Oh, this is from Politico. The White House cautiously opens the door to study blocking sun's rays to slow global warming. I put this in here because it's all a conspiracy
Futurama.
theory. After, well, Simpsons before that.
Simpsons did it.
I put this in here because the conspiracy theory that came out last week after the smoke came back in New York State.
Yeah.
There's some people going, what if they're lighting those fires purposely in order to block the sun to limit global warming? Remember in 1812, I think it was 1812 or 1817, they had that summer with it was a summer with no sun, or the year with no summer. That's what it was.
Oh yeah.
It was a volcano that went off, and it was
early
so
1800s.
It was like 12 or 17, 15, something like that. It was so massive that it covered the sun. The ash or the fallout covered the sun for a year, and they had catastrophic
effects on the environment.
Yeah. On plants and animals and everything else. So the White House offered measured support from the idea of studying how to block sunlight from hitting Earth's surface as a way to limit global warming in a congressionally mandated report that could help bring efforts once confirmed to science fiction into the realm of legitimate debate. What do you got?
1816 is also known as the year without summer, poverty year, and 1800 and froze to death.
Yeah.
The eruption of Mount Tambora in Indonesia in 1815 triggered a change in the global climate. So really quick.
How big was that fucking eruption in order to do that? That's something else.
The eruption of Mount Tambora in Indonesia in 1815. The heavier material fell to the ground and the ocean's surface. However, when lighter particles reached the stratosphere, they spread out and created an aerosol cloud the size of Australia. The cloud blocked sunlight from reaching the Earth and changed the global climate by 2 to 7 degrees Fahrenheit.
Yeah.
The effects of which devastated much of the world in what should have been the summer of 1816. Crops failed across Europe and the U.S. due to the cold or lack of sunshine, causing grain and oat prices to soar. Torrential rains flooded crops in Ireland. Novel strains of cholera killed millions in India. Crime became rampant and people starved in many countries.
Yeah. And this is what they want to do purposely for global warming.
Well, didn't Arnold Schwarzenegger at one point say something about blowing up the moon? Because it would get rid of women's periods?
I think he did, didn't he?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. The controversial concept known as solar radiation modification is a potentially effective response to fighting climate change, but one that could have unknown side effects stemming from altering the chemical makeup of the atmosphere, some scientists say. The White House report released late Friday indicates that the Biden administration is open to studying the possibility that altering sunlight might quickly cool the planet, but it added a degree of skepticism by noting that Congress has ordered the review, and the administration said it does not signal any new policy decisions related to the process that is sometimes referred to as derided as geoengineering. Mm-hmm. I think that's dangerous shit. Dangerous shit.
Yeah.
I mean, they already fucking cloud seed and everything else.
I would say jet streaming.
Yeah, well, yeah, there's that too. Which,
I mean, the
that used to be a
messages that
fucking conspiracy theory too. You remember? It's like,
yeah,
there's fucking chemtrails and everything. It's like, all right, whatever, you nut. And it turns out, well, that's not entirely accurate. But now they're gonna do this, so
they're gonna seed me from above.
And you know what's fucking weird too? The missus with the Regents exams, she was just telling me when you take the Regents exams, they have part of the Regents exams is a argumentative piece.
Okay.
Right? And they base that section in nonfiction. And what she was telling me is that the most recent one talks specifically about geoengineering. Mm-hmm. And she goes, usually when they do these exams, they don't take anything like old news. It's all new. And New York State has put this out on geoengineering, blocking out the sun purposely. And that was the argumentative piece. I'm like, well, that's interesting. And then after, this is the exam, so this is before the fires. Mm-hmm. And then the fires hit, and it just ends up blocking out the sun. I'm like, oh my God, fuck.
Way to fucking go, New York State.
Last thing.
Okay.
Elon Musk and Mark Zuckerberg. The fight.
That's legit?
You haven't heard about it?
That's legit.
I mean, it's legit talked about. I I have about
Because Zuckerberg's like
a
some
0.001% chance it'll actually happen.
Because isn't Zuckerberg some online certified third-degree black belt?
Well, he's a black belt. And he's got more training. That's why I heard about it. I'm like, okay, well, Elon Musk is bigger.
But he's got jujitsu training.
Elon does?
Yeah.
It'd be interesting. Here's I think it would generate a shit ton of money. It would be fun because it'd be like the two fucking geeks from high school that just got in a fight and everyone just watches around. No. Let him go.
Grab his dick and twist it.
Oh, dick. Oh my god. Twist his dick. Oh my god, dude.
Oh my god. Twist that dick.
Twist that dick.
Oh, it's fucking great. I would pay to see it.
So would I. Apparently it could happen at the Coliseum. Like, not like Nassau. Like
the Roman Coliseum.
Yeah. They said they would deck the arena out and actually hold the event in the Coliseum.
Oh, I would go to that. See fucking Roma.
This is why I don't think it'll happen. Investors. Because whoever loses, that's going to tank their stock.
No.
I don't think.
I think it's going to be a Mayweather McGregor fight.
I don't think
there's no loser.
I don't think it would. It's a good argument. It's really not really an argument. It's just kind of a statement. But I don't think investors would want to even toy with the idea because there's so many billions of dollars invested with it. They're not going to want to look at that and be like, there's a possibility we can make a lot of money, but there's also a possibility that this could hurt the brand or the multitude of brands, and they're not going to want to do that. Investors are not going to fuck around with that. That's why I don't think it'll happen. Would it be awesome if it happened? Oh, hell yeah. I want to see, this is who I want to see commentate the fight. I want Joe Rogan out there, but I also want JR and the King Jerry Lawler. I want all three of them fucking out there.
This is the way that the fight is going.
Oh, and I want Insane Clown Posse out there too, commentating too. Strike that. I want Joe Rogan and Violent J and Shaggy out there. That's who I want out there. And I want them commentating it like the old JCW, where they just fucking roast.
Look at them floppy titty freak just flopping around. Oh, I want to burn the arena after this.
I want to see him just roast the entire thing while Joe Rogan's trying to like do a serious fucking.
Oh my god.
That's what I want to see. But I don't think it's gonna happen.
I think it will.
Really? Why?
There's no loss. Yeah. They both have enough money to fuck. Okay, and when I lay this out, you're gonna be like, okay,
right?
Console wars,
right?
What was that about?
Bits.
But what happened? There was no negative press. There was, our system's better. No, our system's better. No, our system's better. Facebook is better. No, Twitter is better. No, Facebook is... All these advertisers. You're talking about two of the two biggest fucking media icons.
Right.
When it comes to social media, the two biggest platforms that generate the most revenue for advertisement, commercialism, whatever. Everybody know these fucking names. My 8-year-old knows these names.
Right.
There's not a fucking person who doesn't know these names. And it won't say, yeah, I like this, or nah, I prefer this. There's gonna be just the revenue alone. Hey, Mark Zuckerberg Musk fight. Twitter versus Facebook. Coliseum. Super Bowl. We'll even cut your discount. You Tikigodstudios can advertise on our billboard for $1,000 for 2 seconds of banner time. Every fucking person, dude. How many active users are on Twitter? Google it. I'll Google Facebook.
It's like 100 million. How many active users on Twitter? Oh, 450 million.
Facebook, 2.9 billion. Okay?
Right.
You're telling me every influencer, every fucking podcaster, every fucking gamer. I mean, for God's sakes, you can link those two together, Twitter and Facebook together.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, dude. That is just the fact that this is being talked about is generating clicks, likes, searches, views, everything.
Yeah, of course it is. I think the big difference between that and like the console wars is the battlegrounds for the console wars was in classrooms and was in the playground and was friends going over to friends' houses. Well,
arcades, the bedrooms.
Well, yeah, even PlayStation
rooms.
and Xbox. But yeah, it was. Well, Sega's better because of this and this and this. And so no, Nintendo's better because of this game and whatever. This is better for whatever reason. It was all the people, like the fans. It was all the people that harbored the systems, that bought the merchandise. It was all that. You never saw the actual comparison of the two systems in the same room.
Practically the same fucking thing.
Going head to head. You never saw that. Because if one lost that war in that scenario, where it was actually the two there,
but they never
one would have got hurt.
But they never had to. But everybody did it for them.
Yeah, but I mean, the same thing happens now, though. With Twitter and Facebook, like there's another one. The reason too is there's no reason to do it. Like this is more just a dick measuring contest between two. Because honestly, this whole thing came out of fucking nowhere to me. Like I was like, all of a sudden I heard, well, Mark Zuckerberg and Elon Musk getting a wrestling match. I'm like,
Zuckerberg's definitely got a bear dick.
What?
If it was,
yeah, it was a rocket. It went to fucking space.
I don't know. Sorry, Zuckerberg, you don't look like you have. He looks like he has an average penis, which in America, which is 5.5 to 6.5 inches long.
Average?
Yeah.
Isn't it like 4?
You Google this one, you fucker.
You have the weird fucking search history already, so you might as well. I think it's like 3.5 or 3 3/4 or something like that. It is a weird thing to search. You're a weirdo. Just so you just shrug your shoulders.
Average size penis in America.
America, the United States. America. Was that right? You feel better about yourself now?
I've always been in it. Never mind. I'm not even making that joke. 5.1 and 5.5 inches.
How can you... There's 2 averages. Oh, okay.
It's a range.
All right.
The average penis is 5.1 inches to 5.5 inches long.
Okay.
So, there to there.
Huh.
I think. My phone. These phones are about what? 6 inches?
5.75 inches, I believe. I think I know that because I measure my penis. I know it because I was like, when I was looking up that handheld game emulators, like, how much my phone is? Well, all right. So I'm about the size of a Sunny D.
Nah. I'm not talking about this anymore. I'll talk about it off camera. Night, fuckers.
Bye. 5.7.